why any form of psychological registration which becomes memory, remembrance, is it possible not to do it? One discovers, if you go into it deeply, it is possible. It is possible only when you are really attentive at the moment of insult, at the moment of flattery. Right? Have you tried this? The other day a man said to me, "You're a damn fool. You're stuck in a rut." Rather impolite, but there it is. So, I went to my room and I said, "Is that a fact? I want to find out. One may be stuck in a rut. And one may be a damn fool. One investigates it. And by watching very carefully, you don't register that you listen to the word. You listen to the fact whether you are or not, whether you are stuck in a rut. Are you stuck in a rut? You understand? Are you? No, find out. Don't answer me, please. Somebody calls you what somebody called me, I hope more politely, and you want to find out if it is so. You neither deny nor accept, but just watch it. Find out. If you are stuck in a rut, it's fairly obvious. You soon find out you are in a rut. So, registration does not take place when you are alert, awake, totally aware with all your senses open. There is nothing to be registered psychologically. Will you do it? You won't. Because pleasure has become immensely important for us. Right? If you observe yourself very carefully, you will see what great part, perhaps the greatest part, pleasure plays in our life. The pleasure to find God or illumination. The pleasure to be free. The pleasure to have money, possessions, lovely wife or husband, and you know all that business. Pleasure of sex, pleasure of power. The politicians with their pleasure of immense power. And so, the registration of pleasure in most of our lives is tremendous. Right? And the pursuit of pleasure has become a dominant factor. That is the remembrance of a past pleasure and the pursuit of that past pleasure as remembrance and desire behind it and searching out, asking, demanding, wanting. Our whole religious organizations are based on that. It's a vast entertainment. It gives great pleasure, which is great sensation that you are in the presence of holy things and so on. So, we said the registration of pleasure of an event that gave you great delight is registered, and the pursuit of it in our life. Now the question is, what is pleasure? When you are enjoying something, at the moment there is no, you don't see how pleasurable it is, how lovely. You are in it. Only a second later, thought comes along and says, what a lovely time that was. How beautiful that was. What great sensation it gave me. What lovely experience. So, there is registration has taken place, then the thought is in operation. You're following all this? We are talking about all this because it's part of knowing oneself. Not from books, not from words, not from description, but actually knowing oneself. Knowing doesn't mean accumulating memory about oneself. And from that accumulation, observe. If you observe through accumulation, you are only accumulating what you have already known. But whereas if you are observing afresh each time, then the thing becomes, it's like a vast river with volume of water flowing, moving. So, what is pleasure? Is it time? Is it thought as fear? We said thought, we said fear, and is the root of fear is time. The root of fear is thought. Thought, which is remembrance. Remembers certain events that cause fear. Registered, the remembrance of it. And the next time, this whole remembrance is projected. You watch it? So, is pleasure time and the movement of thought? Or they are both the same? Thought and time are essentially the same. So, thought is the movement of pleasure. Which doesn't mean we can't look at a beautiful tree and enjoy it. A beautiful personal painting or a lovely valley with all the purple shadows in it. When you look at it. But the moment it becomes registered and a remembrance, it's no longer delight, it becomes a pleasure, which is the remembrance of things that have happened before. Now, if you see the whole nature of this completely, then pleasure has its place, delight, and therefore psychologically, inwardly, there is no registration of that event. The mind then, the brain then becomes extraordinarily alive, young, fresh, without any neurotic reactions. Finished. I've just stopped in time. Please, if I may request you, don't clap. It's such a, you're clapping for yourself, not for me. Or clap when I'm not here.